guys, welcome to my channel once again. My name is Priscilla Kuma. I know the topic drew your attention, and I have somebody here who is a proud product of UPC. Yes, he enrolled with UPC and then he was able to successfully come out through the process. And he's here to tell you about what it entails to be able to write NCLEX in India. Unfortunately for us in Africa, we only have one center in South Africa. At the time of making this video, I can only confirm one center. The other one is in the pipeline, and as soon as it comes out live, we'll talk about that one. So let's focus on India. Many of you have to use that option, and he has been there, done that, and he's back, and he'll guide us. So please welcome to my channel, Emmanuel. Please tell us about yourself, introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hi, good day to you all. My name is Imanodate. I'm currently a USRN and a product of UPC. Yes, so I joined UPC by watching a video on YouTube, which was done by Priscilla Kuma, and then I enrolled. And I must say that I've enjoyed a smooth cruise so far, so good. And I've been to India and I've successfully passed the NCLEX, and then I'm back in Ghana. I'm waiting patiently. At the other processes have also commenced, and I'm waiting patiently to find myself in the US. So I'll just use this opportunity to talk to you all about the processes involved to get yourself to India to write the examination, the experience on the examination day, and then after the examination day, how you can get your results and things.
Why did you even decide to embark on this USRN journey in the first place?
After school, it took us some number of years to get posted in Ghana here. And then most of my colleagues found themselves in UK. Some of them privately sent me a message to come to the UK. So I was actually online to weigh the options. So when I chanced on your video, I was really, really convinced. And then I've always wanted to be in the US. Okay. So I saw the video and I was like, okay, most of my friends also use the agency route where an agency will sponsor you all
Yeah.
through. But when upon listening to your video or watching your video and seeing the positives and the negatives for using an agency, I decided to use the self-sponsoring route. And then I must say that I've never regretted using that route.
So you prepared, you did all the paperwork, and you finally got an ATT. Take us from the ATT, for those who don't know, it's authorization to test. What is the next step, and how did you find yourself in India?
Okay, so with the help of UPC, I was able to go through the getting the authorization to test. So first and foremost, you must get your credential evaluation done. That's your CS report.
Yeah.
After you're done with that, you also have to go through an academy where you are taught very well all the process involved in passing your NCLEX. And then after that, you give yourself some time to also assess yourself with the help of the tutors in the academy. So when I was done, I had to go through the ATT process, which was done by Madam Vida. She took me through the process. You select the date yourself because you know when you can boldly sit by that PC and then face that exams. So she took me through the process, and then it was a one-on-one thing. I have to select the date myself, and then it was confirmed from Pearson View. So after getting that information, I started preparing personally with the help of also my tutors in the academy, the NCLEX Academy, which I wrote on, which I will also recommend for everyone here to do so. So after the ATT, usually you have an idea of the day you're going to write your exams, okay? So you have to now start filing for a visa to go to the examination center. So I chose India, and in India they have a number of centers. So I chose New Delhi. So New Delhi, what I had to do is that I had to go there by flight using Emirates. So I had to book with the help of UPC. They helped me. I booked after the ETT. I paid my NCLEX the NCLEX fee. That was I think $200 back then. I don't know how much it is now. Yes, so they helped me with all that process, and then I had to fund for the flight to and then from India. So upon booking my flight, I had to also take into consideration the hotel. And I must say that it's always advisable to get to the country days before the examination date. So, for instance, I wrote my exams on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So I arrived in India on a Tuesday. Sometimes it's even advisable to get there maybe on a Monday. So you set off from Ghana here on Sunday or Monday. Then, because it's a very long journey, you have to transit to another country and then you move finally to India. So I transited at Dubai. So in Dubai, I was there for some few hours and then I moved from Dubai to New Delhi. So upon arrival to New Delhi, the first thing I did was to go to my examination center. So I went to my examination center and then I found out that it was very kind of far from where my hotel was. Okay, so that's one thing we should always also take into consideration, because when you get to the country and don't know where your center is on the day of the exams, it's either you can get there later because you don't know how far the center is from your
Yeah.
hotel. So I had to leave my hotel and then go to the center. So I wrote in Ashoka Estate in New
Okay.
Delhi. Yes. So when I got there, I went to the center. I introduced myself that I'm here, I'm a test taker, and that I will be coming to the center to take my test on Thursday. So I got there on Tuesday, and I arrived in New Delhi around 3 p.m. So I quickly rushed to the center. I got there around 4:35 p.m. Yes, it was I think almost a 1 hour, 1.5 hour journey from my hotel. Yes, so I got there and I introduced myself and I told them, and then they told me, I asked them the requirements as well. And I must say that the only requirement you need, usually in most of the test centers, is your passport. It's your passport. You don't need to send in any pencil, any pen, nothing, because it's a computerized based exams. So I went there and then they showed me parts or where the center where I'm supposed to write. I was not allowed to enter the center where the examination was ongoing because there were other students who were also taking the exams. So I had an idea of where my center was. So I came back home, came back to my hotel, of course, and then prepared for the D day. The exams time on that day was I think 8 a.m. So I was supposed to set up very early from the hotel to the center. So on the D day, I woke up as usual. I did my morning rituals, prayed, and then committed the exams into God's hands. And then I I picked the Uber. In India, you have Uber all over, Uber all over. So I advise that when you get to India, you can get uh, the Uber app on your phone. It's very, very, very important to navigate, help you with easy navigation all through the city. So I got to India and then, sorry, I got to the center on the D day. And then when I got there, I also met other nationals who had also come there to write. So because I got there very early, I had some few minutes to also go through one or two things. But I must advise on that day, try as much as possible to be more relaxed. Try to be more relaxed. Sometimes a night before we don't get enough rest. I had to sleep very late because of the time differences. So that morning, my eyes were really hurting.
So one mistake you made was you didn't book a hotel close to the examination center. So your center
Absolutely.
was far. Okay. So that's
Yes.
something with those who are here to go the note. You have to find hotels around your examination center. And also, I want to take you back to the flight. You said you used Emirates from Ghana to
Yes.
Dubai, Dubai to India. Do you remember how much the tickets cost at that time?
Okay, so as at the time I was booking a ticket for in and out flight was 9,900 Ghana cedis. Yes,
And
so
the
that
two
was for
hundred dollar you mentioned, what was that for?
that one was for the exams, the Pearson View exams.
The
Yes,
booking fee.
the
Okay.
NCLEX exams. Yes.
Also, the time difference is very big and it can also throw
Yeah.
your body off. So, people normally, it's best to arrive maybe 2 days before just so your body can readjust a little bit before you can go in and take it because there are different time zones. How many hours did you have between Ghana and India?
I think it was 5 to 6 hours time
Okay.
difference. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Five to
Okay.
six
We have
hours time
about
difference.
12 hours US to India, depending on where you are in the US. It's about 12 and 13 hours
Wow.
difference. Yeah. So it's a lot. Okay, please go ahead. The D-Day. So you go to the venue.
Yeah, so on the D-Day, I got to the venue. I had a backpack. Okay, so immediately you enter, the first thing they do is that they have to confirm from their system that yes, you are taking a test on that day, and then you hand over your passport. So after you handed over your passport, there's a thorough check that is done. You are supposed to make sure you don't have anything in your pocket. If you have it, if you are wearing a jeans, you see usually the jeans comes with a very small pocket above the right pocket. Okay. You also have to check that there's nothing in there. You will be given a locker where you keep all your valuables. Your phone, you must put off your phone. It will be sealed and kept for you. So you keep everything in your locker. And then it's also around, the locker is around the resting or sitting area. I must advise that you shouldn't do, anytime you're going out for break in between the tests, you shouldn't go closer to the locker or try to pick anything from the locker, because it will be assumed that you are trying to cheat in the exams. Okay. So right after I was done with that, they took my passport and then they did a scan. I had to place my hand on a scanner. Okay. So I placed my hand on a scanner, which they advised, they taught me to do. So you place your hand on the scanner to capture all your fingers and also your palm, because it's your palm that you're going to use to cover the mouse, and then your fingers are going to be used for the clicking. So that was done. A thorough search was done also on me. They searched all my pockets to ensure that there was nothing in there. I was also given time to go to the washroom if I want. If you also want to go to the washroom, you are given time to go to the washroom and come back. Any movement in and out of the examination hall, you go through the process of being searched again. So let's say, for instance, you start your exams and then 2 hours through the exams, you want to go for a break, you'll be searched before you go out. And then when you're coming in again, you'll be searched again. Another important thing that we should also notice that the examination is video recorded as well as audio recorded. Okay, so what it means is that when you speak to yourself during the examination, it's recorded. When you are any movement also in front of the PC is also recorded. So there's a camera on you at the same time. There's an audio recording going on. So it means that you can't speak to anyone closer to you, anyone in the examination hall, and everybody is entitled to one PC. You have instructions that comes on the PC that tells you what you should expect in the examination, time for break, time when you are going for break. It also affect the time, that the total time spent. Okay, so all that should be taken into consideration. And I must say that when you start the exams, just as much as possible, try and be more relaxed. Give yourself time to understand the questions and then answer them. I was fortunate to cut at 85. Yes, yes, I was really proud of myself for cutting at 85, and I did that within a period of 3 hours. Okay, yes, some people can also do that within 2 hours, 4 hours. It depends on you, but I must say that during your tuition through the academy, your content is very what they call it, vital. You build up your content and then also you get the strategies. There are so many strategies you must employ when you're answering these questions, and I believe that when you put all together, you come out successfully.
Okay.
Usually when you cut at a particular number, it doesn't guarantee that you've passed or not, but as and when you are doing well, you realize that you have total control over the questions. Okay, so when you're doing well, you realize that you are being tested in all areas, not only psychiatry, not only pharmacology, not only uh, general stuff, not only fundamentals. You are tested in all other areas. It's a computerized based exam, so they test you on everything just to assess you. Yes. So
Yes.
after the exams, I had to leave the center and then go back to my hotel.
Were you given like a pad or a writing board with a marker that you can jot things down?
Yes, please. I forgot to add that. So, as I was saying, when you go in there, you're not supposed to send any pencil or paper. So you'll be given a board. Okay, it's more or less like a laminated file with a surface that can help you jot down anything you want to jot down. So, for instance, you have been given, let's say, a temperature range. You want to write, you know what the normal temperature range is. So, you want to write on your board to confirm. And you also advise that anything you write on that board, you're not supposed to clean it. You'll be given a number of markers. So you can be given 2 markers. When you realize that the ink is diminishing, which is manifested with how deep the writings are, you can raise your hands up and then it will be changed for you as many times as possible. I mean, they have enough resources to ensure that the examination goes on smoothly. So you should also bear that in mind. There are some things that people you can easily recollect when you do the writing. So I think it's also a good platform for you to also do some writing just in case you've forgotten something to help you answer the questions perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you gave them your passport, did they just look at it and give it back to you, or did they hold on to it until you finished before they gave it back to you?
What happens is that your passport will be with them all through the examination, because they believe that when they give their passports to you, probably it may have some materials that you can use to cheat. Okay, so you'll be told that your passport will be with them all through the examination. So anytime you want to move out of the examination hall for any reasons, you'll have to go through the checking system again. But all through the examination, you will not have your passport with you. You won't have anything with you, with the exception of the board and the marker and your PC. Yes, that's
Okay.
what you have. Yeah.
Let me take you back a little bit to the travel preparation. Did you
Okay.
need the ATT letter to be able to book a flight to India or book a hotel? Did you need any number on that letter to show that you really have an examination coming up?
Okay. Yes, I must say that the ATT letter also plays a major role, because sometimes when you are booking the what do you call it? When applying for the visa, okay, sometimes people or they apply and say that they're going out there for tourism, for leisure. But using the ATT is a valid document to show that you're going out there for a formal purpose. Okay, you're going out there to write an exams, and the embassies are very much aware that they are citizens from Ghana moving each and every day in and out of Ghana for the purpose of going to write the examination. So having that letter is also very vital. It's very, 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 very vital. So whenever you go through that process, you keep that document very well. And also when you are issued the visa, it's usually a 1 year visa. Okay. When I issue the visa, you have to keep the visa on you in a backpack or any bag that you will carry along. Okay, so that at any checkpoint, when you're asked what you are going to do, you can show it to the immigration officers so that you can allow for your smooth movement through the checkpoints.
So let's go back against the immigration because lots of people have questions in that regard. So when you applied for the visa, did you go physically to an India consulate or an India embassy in Ghana? Where did you do the application? Is it online? Walk me through the process a little bit, please.
Okay, so I must say that my brother actually helped me to do this. It was applied online. It's usually an online application.
Okay.
It's usually an online application, and then when you go through that process, sometimes you can be denied. But the fact that you are denied doesn't mean that you will not be given. So some people have been denied the first time, and then the second time, if you reapply, I believe that you're going to get it because it's for a formal reason. Okay, going to India means that you're sending money to them. It's a way of they gaining more. Okay, so I don't think that the embassy will be so strict on you to deny your visa to write an exams in India. I think their doors are always open to us when it comes to application of visas. But before that, before you apply for that, you must have your ATT, and then you should know that this is the day you are going to write your exams. That should come earlier.
Yeah.
You shouldn't buy the tickets ahead of trying to going to do your ATT. No, I advise you not to do that. So when you are with UPC, Stavida is going to take you through that. The time you are supposed to get your ATT, everything. When it is ready, she is going to tell you, send you the email, everything. Then you are rest assured that your ATT is in. Then you've also paid for the examination, and then it has been confirmed.
Back to the examination center. Is it like a partition desk whereby there's something separating you and the next person sitting there? Did they give you headphones? Is there a camera all over the room, or how is the room like in the D-Day? Yes.
Okay, so I must say that it is a well organized room, okay? Well organized room such that you are not disturbed in any way, okay? Well organized room with cameras all over. You have cameras all over. I mean, every movement you make, it's being recorded. There are cameras all over. It's also a partition desk, like you spoke about, okay? So you can sometimes have somebody close to you, okay, you can have somebody close to you, but because it's an exam set that you are focusing on whatever is presented to you, you are not interested in whoever is closer to you. It's about you and your PC. And because there are cameras all over, you can't try to stretch your neck in any way. But in most settings, I believe that the number of people sitting at a particular time is controlled. So as much as possible, you won't have all the desks uh, available occupied. So there are sometimes some number of spacing, such that when you're seated on by one PC, the next PC may not be occupied, the third one may be occupied, so that you have some level of spacing, so that you can be very comfortable behind your PC and also answer your questions.
After you finished writing and your computer shut down at 85, you left the room, they gave you your card, and how long after did you find out that you passed?
Right after I was done, I got back to my hotel in about, I think in about 3 hours time, because I had to visit some tourist sites. Okay, I was privileged to meet one rider who decided to send me around. So I went
Wow.
to a mall. I went to one or two tourist sites. Okay, in India they have very nice places around. So I got to my hotel in about 3 to 4 hours time. Usually after the exams, my people in the academy have some unique way of checking it for you. Okay, yes, I think with the NCLEX, 2 hours after the exams, you will know your fate.
Yeah.
Yes, whether you've passed or not. And I think this process is done by trying to do a re-registration. And then when you try to do a re-registration and then you didn't pass, it will go through. But if you pass, it is going to you are going to get a pop-up message to say that uh, this person you are trying to register for has already sat for the exams and that you cannot re-register. I think that message is, I think, greater than 90% assurance that you've passed your exams. Yes.
Yes, that
And
is
then
a
I think
Pearson trick. Yeah.
Pearson trick, yes. So I think when you get that, I think I had very good friends who helped me through this, process. Victoria and the husband, thank you so much. They have been so helpful, so helpful. Yes. So I think when you get that message, it's so relieving. It's so relieving. I
Yeah.
think if you're in there, if you want to scream, you scream. If you want to cry, you cry. I mean, I think it's the feeling is something else. It's
Yeah.
something else. Uh, I was privileged to have my colleagues who sent me a text message and they said, "Yima, let's check for you. Let's check for you." I think I had two or three people checking for me, and then I had the same information. That really confirmed that yes, I had passed the exams. I was really
Yes.
really really happy. Yeah.
Passing NCLEX is a great feeling. It's indescribable, and I wish those of you who are yet to do it, somebody has done it. I've done it. He's done it. And you wrote the New Generation NCLEX (NGN).
Yeah.
Walk me through the process of how the case study section looks like. I know there are case studies that have been added, but I never got a chance to write that. So tell me, how many questions was there and how many sub questions was it? And do you type? Do you write? Is it an essay? Do you pick answers, select or that apply? How is the case study section of the New Generation and class that we're all freaking out about?
The new generation NCLEX, it's a testing system that really, really works on the testers or the individual ability to identify and then make a clear diagnosis. Okay, so there are different aspects of solving the new generation NCLEX type questions. Okay, so there's an aspect where you have to highlight a portion of of an essay that has been introduced to you. It's usually a scenario. Okay, so it can be a scenario that somebody walked into the hospital and was manifesting these signs and symptoms, and then they did a thorough head-to-toe assessment. So an assessment on the genitourinary system was done, an assessment on the digestive system was done with its equivalent findings. Okay, so all these informations will be given. Now with the new generation, you don't type anything. Okay, all you have to do is either you highlight a group, a selected portion of the essay that has been given to you to analyze. Okay, and then also there are follow-up questions. It depends. There are some of them that comes with, let's say, 4 or 5 sub questions. Some of them as many as 6 sub questions, and okay, some of them carries partial marks. Some of them too, you must meet all the required answers in order to get all the required selected areas in order to get a full answer of, I'll say that a right answer for a particular question. Okay, so with the NGN, it depends. There are instances where some people go, they get 4 NGN questions. I had 4 of them on what they call it, different systems. You can get an NGN system, an NGN question on gynae, on psychiatry, on fundamentals, on pediatrics. I mean, in any area you can be tested on the NGN. Okay,
So you
and
had
then
case studies. You had like how many case studies did you have? 3 or 4?
I think I had
Oh,
four
okay.
case studies.
So
Yes,
that's
four
what you're
case studies.
referring to as the NG and the case
The
studies. You had
NGN, yes,
4.
the case
Okay.
studies, yes, please,
Okay.
yes, please, yes. So the case studies is part of the NGN as I was talking about, and thanks for the correction. So the case studies, as I was saying, they come in the form of essays with details. So they expect that you should read the information they've given to you in order to answer the follow-up questions. Yes, and sometimes when it comes to the case studies, there are some vital signs and symptoms that serves as clues. So whenever you are learning you are getting your content. For instance, Guillain-Barré. Yeah,
Yeah.
Guillain-Barré is what we call it an ascending paralysis. Okay, so all the way from your toes rising all up. So you realize that the patient comes in, and then you realize that they are looking at the neurological assessment, and then you realize that there's paralysis all the way from down rising up. It should give you a clue. Okay, so they have so many ways of twisting it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the first question will be geared towards you identifying the diagnosis. Let's say the exact diagnosis for the scenario being presented in the case study. When you get it wrong, the next question will tell you that this was the diagnosis. So in that case, it's now repositions you to know that this is what the case study is talking about. But it's an added advantage for you when in the first scenario you're able to identify it without the next question telling you. So when you identify it right and the next question tells you that, oh yes, I had it right, which means I'm on point. Yes, it really affects your approach to the next questions because you have total dominion over the questions provided, and then you know that you are going to provide the right answers. Yeah.
Okay, wow. So let's summarize. So after the examination and your tourism and everything, you decided to come back to Ghana. How was the flight? Did you also transit?
Yes, please. So right after the exams, I was done on a Thursday. I left my hotel. My flight was around 9 p.m. So I had to move from my hotel to the airport around 7, and then I had to check in. Okay, so after that, my flight was from I think 9 p.m. I arrived in Dubai again around 4. I think no, that was around 3 a.m. Yeah, so I had to stay in the airport for like 6. Yeah, I think 4 to 6 hours. Yes, in order to catch the next flight to Ghana. And then it was actually my first experience traveling outside. Okay, so when you are going, I must advise, it's if it's your first time traveling, you must be well positioned to ask questions. If you don't know anything, please ask, because your flight number or the boarding flight can change, and when it changes, you have to quickly get to the boarding gate before they move, because when they call your number a number of times and you're not there, then it means that you're going to find yourself in a very serious situation which you don't want to. So as much as possible, you ask questions as much as possible, you stay close to people who can help you. Sometimes you make friends in the plane. You can have people who are also going to write. Okay, if you are fortunate to meet such people, that is very good. I didn't get opportunity to meet anyone. I was like a total stranger. Okay, traveling to a new environment and then coming back. It's really a nice experience. It's really a very, very, very nice experience to travel, write to the exams. When you are going, you are so tensed, and then you feel that, hey, what is going to be the outcome of these exams? But when you're coming back and you know you've passed, I mean, it's something else. The feeling is so good. I mean, you are coming back with so much confidence because you know you are coming back with a very big news to share with your family, your friends, and your loved ones. And that feeling is so nice. It's so nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I always advise, aside the time difference in the country you're going to, it is important to give yourself some days before the exams. The flights can change, flights can get cancelled. There might be a delay between your transit point to the next destination, and you don't want to do that so close to the examination date or hours. Somebody did all that and got stranded. By the time it got to India, it was the examination was the time was already passed. So give yourself arrival day plus one minus two or something just to arrive a day before or 2 days before. And then when you were done, you can leave. Then so you left on the same day, right?
Yes, please. So when I think I left the day after. So
Okay.
I was done on Thursday. So I left on Friday. Yes, so I had to leave. And then also another thing too is that as much as possible, when you can change some money into the rupees, okay, because you are going in there. If you have enough money on you, you should at least. If you have some dollars, it's very easy around there. They can give you a very good rate. Sometimes the locals in the market, yes, they can tell you, okay, if you have dollars, I can change this for you at this rate. Then you can have some money on you to do some shopping and all that. But I advise that as much as possible, you are going to a new environment. You should also prepare financially to have enough money on you so that you don't get stranded. You can always get whatever you want to get at that point in time. Because the examination is said that that's the main reason why you're going there. When you are done, you can make time to do other things. But as much as possible, you ensure that you take in things that are not going to affect your health. So the water you drink, the things you are going to take to eat, the foods you are going to eat, everything is very, 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 very important. Don't find yourself eating something that is going to affect your GI system on the day of the exams, please. It's very, 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 very important. Yes.
Wow. Thank you very much for sharing the process with us. So now you have passed, then you are in the waiting phase. So what are you up to? This is the last question, I promise.
Okay, that's fine. So I must say yes, I'm in the waiting phase, and I must say so far so good with UPC. So far so good. I just love the fact that I'm being guided at every point in the process. Yes, so far so good. Patience is a very good virtue. I mean, at this point in time, you have to wait patiently. Yes, there are some there are some things we can control, there are some things we cannot control. So the only way out is for us to wait patiently. It is no fault of yours, but the most important thing is to get your exams and pass your exams, and then get all your needed documents to go through the next phase, and then you'll be in the waiting period. And then at the right time, you find yourself working in the right state, working in the right hospital, and then you're going to live your US dream. I mean, yes, you're going to live your US dream. Yeah,
So that is
yeah.
just
So
to
far, so
add
good.
that if you are an NCLEX passer, you are looking for an employer, you can reach out to UPC. We have employers that will get you jobs in the states that you prefer and the facilities that you prefer and the field that you are trained for. So we don't just help you from the beginning to you right and we leave you alone. We are able to go forward and give you an employer. Whether you enroll with UPC or not, so far as you've passed NCLEX and you think you need an employer, you can reach out to us on our website www.usrnpathwayconsult.com. Refer your friends to us. Emmanuel is a proud product. He has been serious from the day he enrolled. He does a lot of research before he comes to you. He has a lot of questions, and you have to be prepared for his questions. And this has gotten him far. So, if you want to write in India, this is what somebody's experience is. And just prepare, take a cue, and we wish you all the best in your examination. And Emmanuel, thank you very much for being here. Any last words before we end this session, please?
So I want to add up that yes, UPC have a very good recruitment system. Yes. The good thing is that with UPC, because of the self-sponsoring system, okay, you have the leverage to choose a state you want to work in. Their recruitment company is also very, 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 very good. I mean, working with them, I've really, really enjoyed every phase. Yes. So it doesn't matter whether you started with us or not. And another good thing is that the service charge being charged at the beginning of the process goes through from the first stage of the process all the way through till you find yourself in the US. Can you imagine? Yes, I mean
And they
it's
reimburse all that NCLEX cost to
they
you.
reimburse everything back to you. Can you? Yes, I was speaking to my employer, and then he was telling me that yes, they are willing and ready to reimburse every amount, despite the fact that provided that you provide you all the documents and then the receipts. Okay,
Yes.
they are willing and ready. So it means that my money is waiting for me patiently out there. Yes.
Yes,
So when I
that's
get
what.
there, I'm going to have my money back.
Yes.
Yes.
It's self
Yes.
sponsorship. It seems like it's a lot, but if you can turn around and get some money and invest in this, just know at the end of the day, it's an investment and then you'll be reimbursed back to you. That is what some people don't know. But keep all your receipts and you'll be reimbursed by the employer till you get your money back. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Have a good one. And hopefully, when you arrive in America, we'll bring you back on the channel to share your US
Sure.
investing experience and life in America. I can't wait to have you on the channel. Thank you and have
Sure.
a good day. Bye bye.
You're most welcome. Bye.